Hello, readers of Every Word, and welcome to Every Word 365. I'm your host, Christina Munoz Madsen. Today we're reading Leviticus 18 through 20. Is everyone still with us? I hope we haven't lost anyone. It's great to do these shout outs every now and then. You can put a hand up, you can say yes, you can email me if you're still with us and still doing these readings, even though they're very difficult. Our reading today contains laws and moral guidelines given to the Israelites covering topics like forbidden sexual relationships, idolatry, and punishments for various offenses. It emphasizes holiness, detailing consequences for violating these commands and promoting a code of conduct for the community. I realize some of the commands might make you think, really? They had to be told not to do that? But remember, if God took the time to point it out, it was probably for a good reason and probably was happening among the people. For example, here's some insight into Molech, which was referenced in our reading today. It is in a Got Questions link, who Molech was, what they did, why they worshiped. And it's a little bit hard to read because it's about child sacrifice. And it is hard to believe that anyone would sacrifice a child, but it was happening then and it does happen today. Listen to this. In the early 21st century, Uganda has experienced a revival of child sacrifice. In spite of government attempts to downplay the issue, an investigation by the BBC into human sacrifice in Uganda found that ritual killings of children are more common than Ugandan authorities admit. There are many indicators that politicians and politically connected wealthy businessmen are involved in sacrificing children in practice of traditional religion, which has become a commercial enterprise. That is an excerpt from Wikipedia. So yes, God's commands were and are very necessary, even when it might be hard to stomach or hard to believe. As for more controversial topics, such as homosexuality, I'm including a link to Got Questions about it because I think they do a good job of explaining it all. Also, I definitely prefer to talk about these subjects in person. So again, I encourage you to meet with others in this group, and I can either join you or even Zoom into your gatherings. But let me just say two things. First, you must stay with us to find out what's written in the New Testament. That's how we know what we can and can't, or at least should and shouldn't do today, since we now live under the new covenant and not the old one. Second, I encourage you to view this entire challenge of reading through the Bible as a personal journey of growth between you and God. In other words, don't worry about what other people should or shouldn't be doing. Worry about what God is telling you to do or not to do. It's actually very freeing when we release ourselves from everyone else's sins and worry about our own, because there's plenty there to worry about. Am I right? And just keep in mind too that sin is sin. God hates all sin, and we already know that we are called to love everyone, our neighbors, which is everyone who crosses our path, but also our enemies. So if we're loving everyone, there's no need to condemn or judge anyone. Remember to ask yourself two questions through all of these readings. 1, who are you, Lord? 2, what would you have me to do? And I love the question in today's daily walk. Are you transformed by godliness or conformed to worldliness? Or are you deformed by trying to do both? Ouch! That is some very good food for thought. Tomorrow you get a break or a time to hit some of those paper-clipped parts. Then it is Leviticus 21 through 23. Happy reading. This episode is brought to you by Travel with Friends. Have you ever wanted to go on another tour with friends but did not know where to start? Well, we now have the best trips planned for you. From an Alaskan cruise to a tour throughout Italy and much more, we have everything taken care of. We are just missing you on the tours. Give us a call at 501-379-9226 or email us at friends@travelwithfriends.com or click the link in the podcast description and travel with friends.